Welcome to Soul Code Tarot. You're with me, Catherine. This is your sign. I've been working on shuffling the cards and really concentrating and asking Spirit on this 11-11 energy. Now, we have an 11-11 portal coming up if you're watching this before November. These are timeless readings, so at whatever point you're watching this before a November 11-11 portal is relevant. But in the sense of right now, today, for me, we have this powerful portal opening up. But not only that, 11-11 seems to be popping up a lot for me, for others in conversation, and perhaps it is for you. And that's why this is your sign. I've been asking Spirit to clarify what energies are coming through with the 11-11 portal. And in any moment you keep seeing 11-11, this message is also for you, irrelevant of portal energies. This 11-11 energy is very, very key at the moment, I feel, in the collective. For example, today I was out walking in the forest, just really feeling some quite different energies. Went shopping, was planning this reading, talking to Spirit. That's how it works and how I work with Spirit. I go out first, clear my energies, tune in. And as I walked in the door and poked my head around the kitchen, there on the timer on the clock was 11-11. And literally moments later, it switched to 11-12. So everything in divine timing is the message I also want to say. If you've been seeing 11-11, and of course, if you've clicked on this reading, it's really going to mean something. Of our Spirit to tell us, guide us, and give us anchoring, really positive information around when we see 11-11, what it means, what's coming in, how can we attune to that, how can we work with that to the best advantage of ourselves and all those we know around us and the whole collective. And then if it's coming into that 11-11 portal, then again, just those frequencies amp up, and hopefully this is the message that can help us move through and just really create some amazing, powerful results in our life, because that's, the optimum result. So we've been working with the Moonology, and what shot out there was the end of a tough cycle approaches. So when you're seeing 11-11, or if you're approaching the 11-11 portal this year or next year, 2026, if this reading catches you, the end of a tough cycle you're in is approaching. So seeing 11-11 and clicking on this reading is Spirit letting you know that this message is today, an end of a tough cycle is approaching. Now, over the last few years, Tarot and Oracle have guided me through some really tough situations, emotional, physical, mental, all sorts of things, and the collective, lockdowns and shutdowns we had in that global pandemic. And 11-11 was coming up a lot and is coming up a lot again for me. And I do feel the collective energy is really moving through this cycle we've all been in, 2025, individually and collectively. So whatever on your personal level has been tough as a cycle, it's approaching an end. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So, dear spirits, guides, angels, bodhisattvas, Avalokiteshvara, ascended masters with us here today in spirit, archangels, please come through this reading for the 11-11 portal energies and help us understand. Now, if you're new to my readings, if the cards fly out, that's a sign, and if they don't go back in, that's also a sign. So be bold and make the first move. When you're seeing 11-11, be bold and make the first move of whatever's going on in your life. And that may also instigate the end of a tough cycle. Balance spirituality and practicality. So if there has been too much in the practical, think about some meditation, think about some stillness and some contemplation. If there's been too much stillness and too much contemplation, think about more practical things. Just to even get up and clean the house and, freshen up, do the hoovering, this type of thing. It's more practical and it can shift the energy. Going for a walk is more practical than sitting in meditation, although the effect can be very similar in generating peace and calm. So it's not to sort of lose one for the other. It's just really about tuning in as much as you can to, is it too much practical? Or has there been too much spiritual? And spirit is just saying, find that balance when you see 1111, tune into what's happening. And then this energy, the energy is gaining momentum. I really feel that the energy is gaining momentum at the minute. I can feel that, and it feels very positive. So even though you may be watching this feeling that you're in a tough cycle, just know that that tough cycle is coming to an end. And I can really feel that in my own experience and in the collective as well. I'm just going to work with another oracle deck before we move into the tarot. I'm going to double clarify with the tarot. So the last part, I'm going to work with the light seers because I love working with the light seers little book. I don't know if you've ever come across the light seers, but the analogies and the interpretations in the Light Seers guidebook is just very beautiful and I find extremely helpful over and above, the interpretation of the reader. So let's see. Any more oracle messages, please, for this 1111 energy, these frequencies. Thank you, Spirit. So there's a journey coming up. Yep, there's a beautiful journey. Now, if you are watching this for the 1111 portal, just bearing in mind that that new journey could be something arriving and arising for you in 2026. A voyage, a deep voyage, perhaps. This is a very beautiful whale, very beautiful. Feels like scorpionic energy, actually. It feels like Scorpio energy, deep, mysterious. Let's see, one more message, please, from the Oracle, and then we're going to move into the Tarot. So 1111 portal energies, please, and 1111 messages for those who have been seeing 1111 and wondering what it's meaning, or have been seeing 1111 and asking for help and guidance, asking for some really positive anchor points to end a tough cycle, to have the courage to be bold and make the first move, to be able to balance spirituality and practicality, to work with this energy that's gaining momentum so they can start a new journey. Release. So when you're seeing 1111, release. What is it that needs to be released so you can end the tough cycle? So that you can be bold and make that first move. Go on the journey. Maybe you've been thinking about this wonderful journey for 2026, what that looks and feels like. So when you're seeing 1111 and in that 1111 portal, there's a potential for this energy to gain momentum and sort of propel you through the end of that tough cycle and take you into a new journey. And the request is that we release, release. And then, how amazing. When you're seeing 1111, it means that the sun energy is also coming through. Okay, so a little bit like on a cloudy day, the sun can suddenly appear like a miracle. Now, the sun energy is about positivity and freedom, fun and success, of course, your personal success, vitality. So if you've been feeling that this tough cycle has been around health, more vitality is coming, more joy is coming back. So that 1111 is also about good luck. The sun is like this beautiful good luck. Without the sun, we would perish. So 1111, seeing it and moving through this portal is bringing sun energy, good luck, truth, experiencing joy, more vitality, more happiness, more contentment. and enabling you as well to be able to shine your light more consistently in a bolder way in the world and in your life. Now, just remember that is a journey, and it can take a lot of courage to do that. So that sun energy is there to help bring that about. Thank you. Because when you're seeing that 1111, they're asking you to be very mindful of Seven of Swords energy, perhaps in your mind primarily. So deceit, lies, trickery, subterfuge, things going on behind your back. Now, this could also be what you need to release, the history. So when you're seeing 1111, you've been in this tough cycle of the Seven of Swords, which is about the energy of people around you being dishonest, just feeling as well that you need to escape. Now, I know that when I'm in a really tough cycle, I want to release and escape. I want to sort of just escape. And so that release is when you're seeing the 1111, it's release the tough cycle, which has been the Seven of Swords. It could be literal, physical, or it could be in your mind, the stories we play, because the sun energy is available there. There's a shift in energies available. This 1111 is showing you that the way to create and experience more joy, success, and happiness is to release the Seven of Swords energy. So it could be a situation you're in, a relationship, your own inner workings, your own mind space that has been causing this tough cycle. Use your intuition when you see 1111. So we have the Page of Cups. Really tune in and listen deeply to your intuition. Like when I stepped through the door from that walk and I saw 1111, I stopped and I paused and I was like, what had I been thinking about? Was there anything in my mind I really needed to release and replace with more positive sun energy? Was there anything I'd been thinking about doing and then really using the energy of the 1111 to make the first bold move to change my reality? So every time you see 1111, keep asking yourself these questions. And if you catch it and the thing in your mind, or you're literally in a situation that needs releasing, you just know it's a sign. It's the positive sign. 1111 is a positive sign to release so that the end of tough cycles can just end, stop. It doesn't mean that in the future we don't, keep experiencing life and the highs and the lows and the midline, but it means at the moment you're seeing 1111 for a reason, and Spirit is saying it's possible to access that sunshine when you release Seven of Swords energy, deceit, lies, trickery in your mind, in something around you. Powerful. Okay, that really actually means a lot to me from this morning when I opened the door and looked and saw 1111, because I know what I was thinking. I know I could release that, and I know there's a very bold action that I could take today, actually, and that would help me end a tough cycle I've been in. So I hope this is resonating. And if you are new to my work and this channel, it would be so amazing if you could like, share, and subscribe, especially if you know somebody else who's seeing 1111 and you've been having this conversation. I know friends and we often say, oh my God, have you seen how many times 1111 is coming up, or 777 or 333? It's all a codex. So following your intuition about what it is that you need to release, or even in the sense of 1111, something's gaining momentum. What is it you could take action on so that it could initiate? 1111 can be initiated on this voyage. So Page of Cups is also a sense of, when you see that 1111, of love, of comfort, of kindness coming in and being available. So as this tough cycle ends, the Page of Cups energy comes in. And so the 1111 is a warming energy, saying that the Page of Cups is about you feeling quite just comforted by that. It's a comfort sign. So just know that the Page of Cups is about using your intuition, and a comfort sign to be able to just, yeah, balance practical and spiritual, I feel, as well, and come into a sense of peace around release. What else have we got here? Peace around the release of the Five of Cups. So as a collective, Five of Cups, and personally, this energy of sadness, loss, and grief and despair, abandonment, guilt, remorse, regret, trauma, mourning. When you see 1111, they're really asking you to release that cycle. And that could have been coming about because you've had the Seven of Swords energy internally or around you through situations. So it's a great moment. 1111 is like a wake-up call when you see it, to say, what am I thinking? What was I just doing? What is spirit guides saying to me to release or to take action today? Or, just to know that actually, if it was a moment of despair, feeling the Five of Cups, feeling the Seven of Swords, that actually 1111 is showing me the Spirit is with me. The Spirit is with me in the light, sunlight, and Page of Cups. They are there as a comfort. They're there as a guidance and a comfort at that moment, perhaps, of seeing 1111 and feeling this Five of Cups energy, just the loss, the sadness, grief even. I think, above all else, on a very practical, spiritually based, motivational life coaching point, is that when we see trigger things like 1111, it's like, what can we instantly anchor back to? Perhaps some component part of this reading that helps us elevate our energy out of anything that's not feeling great. Seven of Swords, sadness, Five of Cups. This is nothing worse than being stuck in, sadness, grief, and despair. Feeling that your mind is playing tricks on you, Seven of Swords. Feeling that, relationships are full of deceit, lies, and trickery. It's just, to be released with compassion and with insight. And hopefully this reading will bring some insight, because then we don't keep ourselves in this endless cycle of tough cycles by ruminating and experiencing, because we're ruminating, because where the mind goes, energy flows, and that starts to create reality. So 1111, let this be this moment where you go, okay, what was I thinking? How can I shift this? How can I release that? Or how can I augment that energy and allow it to gain momentum, to enable me to feel the sunshine, enable me to make the first bold move, so that these tough cycles start to ease and abate. Okay, let's see. One more, please, from tarot here. I'm also going to look at the gene keys playing out in 1111 when we see 1111, when you're listening to this reading and when we're in that portal point. Pre or post portal, 1111. So one more, please. Message here for 1111. Thank you. Okay, we've actually got two that wouldn't go back in. Inspiration. When you see 1111, follow your inspiration. So again, still checking the mind, still checking your physiology. What's going on? How is your body feeling? What's happening? What conversation are you in? What are you seeing? And let that inspiration guide you. Let that be your intuition. Let that Page of Cups flow through as an inspiration in that 1111 moment, because it can initiate the new beginning that ends the tough cycle. And I categorically know, if I am only talking to myself in this reading, there is a very bold move I could take today. It is inspiring to me, but it's, it's full of a little bit of Five of Cups, of sort of on the edge. And it's also a little bit like, is it the right thing to do in the mind? Seven of Swords. Deep down it is. So seeing 1111 is like that positive thing. Follow the inspiration. This Ace of Wands came through. When you see it, it's the Sun, it's the Ace of Wands, it's the intuition, it's the Page of Cups. These are the things that 1111 is guiding you to keep attuned to when you see 1111. It's to snap you out of any tough cycle that you're going through and ruminating through. It's to give you the energy and the momentum to take the first bold move. It's about taking you on a new journey. So, Ace of Wands, this new beginning, this journey, this voyage that we had. So, finding this new initiative, and that is definitely what it felt like this morning to me. And I hope when you're listening to this, if you've obviously been seeing 1111, and even this reading is entitled 1111, then this is a moment to sort of be able to go, okay, I keep seeing it. It's a clear sign things are improving. It's a clear sign Spirit is communicating positivity to me, to anchor into my intuition in those moments, to know that potentially 1111 is signaling me to break out of loss, Five of Cups, break out of Seven of Swords, rumination on deceit and lies, and just feeling like you want to escape. You need to make a break for it. So, in that moment of 1111, find the inspiration. That Ace of Wands energy is there. So, this is about action, travel, just growth, feeling that you can start something new, that you can take the initiation, you can follow the inspiration. That inspiration giving you enough energy. It's giving you the energy when you see 1111 to gain momentum and take the action you would like to take. So Ace of Wands, very powerful when you see 1111. These are the positive anchors. And then when you're seeing 1111 and you're listening to this reading, or you're moving through the portal or past the portal of 1111, you've got abundance. You've got the Queen of Pentacles coming through. So if you're seeing 1111 and you think, feeling lack, feeling that this situation you're in, this tough cycle is never going to end, it actually is. There's an opportunity when you see 1111, Ace of Wands, to follow your intuition, to access the sun energy, the light energy, so that you can release any negativity and access Queen of Pentacles energy and the abundance that is actually there waiting for you. Now, whether or not you are in a position when you're listening to this reading to be able to take any physical action or not, because sometimes we can be in severe burnout and unable to really physically do much, but there's always the mind. We can control our mind, or we can learn how to. And in seeing the 1111, even if you've got not enough energy to take that move, I know there have been times this year in 2025 and historically where I just haven't had enough energy to make the bold moves. And I'm Aries sun and rising, so that says a lot, about what's been going on collectively in the frequencies and the energies and the hemisphere with the planets moving and shifting, big planetary shifts and moves, massively affecting us all in different ways, depending on our star sign. So just know that 1111 is a key sign that the Queen of Pentacles, so prosperity, is right around the corner, or it is the journey you can take, that there's creativity becoming available, that there's even a sense of using your intuition to instigate with the Ace of Wands energy a new business, new work, new connections that bring in the abundance, that access the Queen of Pentacles. Just remember, these are frequencies that you can also embody when you see 1111, because in seeing it, the energy in the frequency portal is open right then. So irrelevant of whether it's, just before a portal or just after it, when you see it, that number 1111, that moment is about, whoa, okay, Spirit is saying I have a moment here to realign myself energetically, even physically, even spiritually, so that those energies gain momentum to change the tough cycle, to change this Seven of Swords energy that you may have been feeling this year or right now, to change obviously that Five of Cups energy. We don't really want to be sitting in these energies. 11 is to shake you out so that you can immediately jump into an intuition. What was it you were thinking? So that it can be either released if it's that negativity, or augmented so that you can move yourself into the Queen of Pentacles energy, into the prosperity and the abundance, so that you can also then work into the Ace of Wands energy and bring in the new beginning. Bring in the new beginning that ends the tough cycle. Let's look at the gene keys and then we'll come back to clarify with the light seers. And let's see if we can work into an energy point, a chakra point to focus in. If you do like meditating and you do like working on quietness and stillness and contemplation to shift energies, some of us are much more practical, It becomes like the gardening and the house clearing and the cleaning and the cooking, the creativity and cooking that shifts energies and creates the change, not necessarily focusing in on meditation. Some of us are very able to be very still and go into deep contemplation, and that is how we access. So it's all different for everyone, okay? So just tune in, use that intuition, what you need to do in the moment or later on in the day after seeing 1111. Interesting, we have Gene Key 1 that flew out. Gene Key 1, the dilemma of numbness. So when you see 1111, you may be feeling numbed out from the Five of Swords, Five of Cups, loss, grief, and despair. You may have been feeling that you've been sitting in or surrounded by or experiencing this Seven of Swords, lies, deceit, trickery, just feeling that things aren't great around you, sensitive to that. Or internally, the alignment is off, because the shadow has been entropy. So when you're seeing 1111, it's to wake up to the numbness. Don't sit in the numbness and don't sit in the shadow of entropy. Because when you see it, they want you to be bold and take that first move. That's immediately going to take you out of entropy. Entropy is when we do nothing. We don't even sit still and meditate. We just enter entropy. And when there's fear and when there's grief and when there's loss and when there's a sense of Seven of Swords energy, we can easily go numb with shock and sadness and worry. Seven of Swords is going to be indicating that you've obviously been worrying about these tough cycles or the tough cycle you're in. Now, in the minute of seeing the 1111, what fresh new thing can you do that can powerfully activate the next cycle, the next part of your journey, that can bring in more energy and momentum to the journey, the voyage that you are on? So releasing entropy, releasing the numbness the minute you see 1111, and bringing fresh new inspiration, Ace of Wands, to your mind, to your body, to your heart, to your situation. Even just a thought is enough to trigger a new energy set point. And Spirit will keep showing you 11, 11, 11. If you've been, really tuned into that, it's because this is one part of that message. that is saying it's a wake-up moment that you can ground into your intuition, release from that which isn't serving you, take you out of these tough cycles and move you forward into a sense of more beauty. So the city here in this Gene Key 1 is beauty. You know, that opportunity when you see 1111 is to experience a beautiful moment, experience beauty. And it could be that you catch something in your mind or you see something in front of you that releases you from that sense of numbness, entropy. Entropy is also like nothing is going to change. These tough cycles are not ending. I can't cope. This is causing me to feel like loss, grief, and sadness. I'm just feeling unsupported and really not okay. But Spirit is saying, if you're seeing 1111, and as you move through this portal or post this portal 1111, these are the actual positive component parts of seeing that can change and shift your reality. Let's clarify some more with the light seers, and just a few cards, please, Spirit, for clarification on seeing 1111. What does it mean? What positive anchor points can we really connect to here in this part of the reading so that we really know that when we see 1111, Spirit is with us, you are with us, guides are with us. Angels, archangels, ascended masters, Avalokiteshvara, bodhisattvas. Wow, okay. Okay, so Two of Pentacles. This again is this balancing energy. When you're seeing 1111, spirituality and practicality must be balanced out. So which way are you veering? Come back to center point, balancing. Two of Pentacles. Okay, what is imbalanced in your life? What can come back to balance? And then this beautiful energy, mind, using the mind. When you see 1111, Spirit is connecting with you to ask you to channel through your mind the positivity of the sun energy, the positivity of the Ace of Wands, the inspiration you might have just felt in that nanosecond of seeing 1111 that shifts you out now of that negative spin cycle of tough cycles. And the Hermit. The Hermit energy, very reflective, very contemplative energy. So Spirit is saying when you see 1111, you've got the Hermit, Two of Pentacles, and this beautiful and powerful, looking at her mind, Ace of Swords. Just very beautiful there. 1111 is bringing you that energy and that frequency that you can access as a positive moment in time to change whatever's going on that just feels negative, like loss, grief, deception, anything that is that tough cycle for you. And because this is obviously a collective general reading, each and every one of us are having different tough cycles. So I can't be too specific with the tough cycle, but you'll have your own knowing about what that is. So I do want to let this beautiful communication from the Light Seers Guidebook come through as well, because the words are so powerful. So Two of Pentacles when you see 1111, Ace of Swords when you see 1111, and the Hermit. So I feel like this is a really strong guidance, action steps to take. So when you first see 1111 and you have the Two of Pentacles coming through that energy, the perspective with the Two of Pentacles is that there is this communication from Spirit to you. I create an equilibrium in my life that allows me to be my best self. So there is definitely something about this 1111 that is asking you to really balance the mind, because the Ace of Swords, this beautiful mind energy, is available. But if you've been going into the negativity and really sort of needing to release the cycles in the mind, particularly, I feel, around any negativity, loss, grief, and sadness, releasing that, This is this Ace of Swords. So I'm going to read the Ace of Swords to you. This is just the most beautiful tarot deck, the Light Seers. The link is below if you're new to it, but I love using the Light Seers. Now, I experience brilliant moments of clarity. So when you see 1111, the Ace of Wands is with you. Inspiration, intuition, and the Queen of Pentacles. Something will be there that you can catch and go, okay, Spirit is asking me to take that action. As I see 1111, as I pass through these portals, as I work with the portal energy after it's, happened, Spirit is asking me to take a bold action. Each and every one of us will know what that is, but it needs to be aligned to the truth. It needs to be aligned to the light, the sunlight, the energy of clear seeing. You will experience clear and brilliant moments of clarity as you tune in to 1111 and see it. And I really did this morning when I looked at the clock. And then the Hermit. So the major arcana coming through here for the last Light Seers. Now, I feel that this is to remain reflective. So there is a bold move that can be taken, and it could just be to release negativity from the mind. When we see 1111, it could be that we need to take a physical action. But I think here with the Hermit, Spirit is also saying when you see 1111, just pause for a moment. Don't be reactive. And take the time to really contemplate or think through carefully what it is that's, that in your life you could take the next move on that would release these cycles of, feelings of karmic injustice almost this year, I feel, and allow this new beginning of inspiration and intuition of the next part of your journey to come through. So, Hermit, nearly there. Just like to read this to you as well. So the Hermit, when you see 1111, is saying the inner sage, inner mentor, inner guide is available to you. So you got to dive into that intuition you're experiencing as you see and feel 1111. Show me my brightest light. Sunshine. Show me my brightest sun energy, light energy, so that I may see with all my heart. So that I may see with all my heart. So when we see 1111, just allow yourself to come to a steady moment, but know that it's an invitation to take a bold action, whether in your mind, to see something clearly and from your heart space that brings in the balance you need to end the tough cycle, or perhaps there is this physical movement that would take you out of the shadow of entropy and numbness you may have been experiencing in your life situation, this tough cycle. Spirit is asking you to bring this fresh inspiration forward now. And not only asking you, saying that as you see 1111, those frequencies are available to you. And sometimes we can just lose hope. There have been times in the last few years where I just feel very like I've lost hope. Hope is one of the key fundamental emotional set points a human being must have to feel that they are alive in the world. If we have no hope, we become nihilistic and we will pass on, we will pass over. So just taking time in that Hermit energy to shine the light from a space of clarity, clear seeing, balanced perspective and energy now, and that will just break that tough cycle. and those energies are available. So I'm just looking at what chakra energy points, if you did want to meditate on energy work. Bridge chakra point, thank you. Wow, psychic awareness. Okay, powerful. So this is this clarity and this intuition through the mind, through the psychic gifts and clairs. So your third eye chakra, focusing in on that as a meditation. And these cards have beautiful messages. So even if it's just in this moment as you listen to this reading, I open my third eye and allow visions of higher wisdom to be received and trusted. I see clearly that which comes through my subtle senses to assist the alignment of my will with the divine will. My psychic awareness is sacred, aligned only with the highest good for myself, others, and the planet. I am psychic. So very beautiful, very clear. When you see 1111, it's accessing the third eye, the intuition. Okay, just really noticing Ace of Swords, clearing the mind, gaining that clarity, that insight, then shining the light like the hermit, becoming the light, guiding others, but definitely guiding yourself into the next bold action you can take, whether it's just mental release of something or physical, so that the end of these tough cycles start to wane, they go, and that we enter into a new sense of momentum and energy and abundance, Queen of Pentacles, as we transition into 2026, past the 1111 portal, and as you transition in your life, even if you're just seeing 1111 a lot. Okay, I would like to take one more message from the Oracle cards, and thanks Spirit Guides and Angels for this reading. And it would be amazing if you could like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Spirit. And this is the last message here for when you're seeing 1111. Just know that your spirit guide can lead you, but can't do it for you. Your spirit guide can lead you, but can't do it for you. So that's really about accessing that intuition, tapping into your intuition quietly like the hermit, and then finding that third eye psychic awareness opening as you work into the 1111 frequencies. Tune in with what's feeling tough in your life, release any negativity, allow the new journey of abundance, Queen of Pentacles, to start coming in. Allowing it is a critical thing. And you know, every time we see 1111, just know that it's another little boost of energy frequency, a portal moment even, just to access what it is you know for you need to take action on, release, embrace, shine out, get clarity on, so that this new journey can start in 2026, and even just right now as you listen to this reading, whenever this reading reaches you. So I hope that has helped. Sending you lots of love for this journey and these 1111 portals and messages. And it would be amazing if you could just let me know how you go. We each and all see 1111 so much. And it's always fascinating, the little stories, the little sort of moments that spirits send us. And when we share it, we all start to feel that collective sense of being held and looked after. So I hope this has really helped. Sending you lots of love on this journey. And may 1111 be appearing for you just when you need it, to bring that support, that guidance, and that feeling of being loved by Spirit and held as much as is possible. Take lots of care, and I see you again soon.